Hello everyone! Today I'm going to tell you about Korean table style. We usually prepare rice, soup, and 3 to 5 side dishes, banchan. This is what we ate last Sunday. This time I want to focus on soup and jjigae. Jjigae is thicker and saltier than soup. Jjigae contains more solid ingredients than normal soup. When it's soup, we ladle soup into each bowl. I ladled it for my husband, daughter, and baby son. I cooked seaweed soup. Koreans usually have it on their birthday. It is simple and delicious, so we often have it at home. I will show you how to cook later. Everybody can refill soup whenever they want. We ate it all together. But we usually share jjigae. It means it is served in a pot. We put this pot in the middle of the table. So if you want to try jjigae, you can reach out and eat the jjigae with your own spoon. And others also try it with their spoons in the same pot. At this point, you must be shocked. Do you think this is the exact Korean table culture? Actually, we used to, yes. I think many Koreans used to do like that, but I really don't like it. And most of the Koreans don't like it either. Some Koreans hate it. Others who follow this culture tend to think this is a kind of a tradition of Korea. And why did this jjigae culture begin? And when did it start? In the period of the Korean War, around the 1950s, Koreans suffered from severe shortage of materials including tableware. So, the Japanese government general of Korea encouraged to share food with one bowl for saving material. At that time, Korea was dominated by Japan. Since then, Koreans started to share one pot food. When I lived in Japan, I often saw they were having nabe, on-pot food like jjigae. They naturally ladled nabe into each bowl. How about the paella in Spain or Latin America? They also divide as much as they want to eat into their bowls. So, I think we should change our old mind that we can get closer or intimate each other with sharing one bowl food. We can become familiar just by eating together on the same table with appropriate table manners and talking. Okay, today I will show you how to make Gochujang Jjigae. Gochujang is the main sauce of Korea. It's very delicious. Let's get started.